Being on stage is probably one of the most important things in my life. As a musical director, I've always kind of lived vicariously through the artist. I really wanted to take control of my artistry. I live on that stage, honey. I'm a performer. I grew up in a very musical family. I'm Filipino and I'm born and raised in Hawaii, so it was just such a melting pot of different cultures and different types of music. When I was about 8 years old and my sister was six, we, embarked on this journey as a duo. I played the piano and my sister, she sang and I sang a little bit. And we sang everywhere. We sang all over Waikiki, at every wedding, every type of funeral, every type of, debut or quinceañera, we were there. I love musical directing ever since I, grew up in Hawaii and I didn't even know that I loved it. I just really love putting together bands. I love putting together the arrangements for shows and I have such a passion for that. Being Filipino, there was like a certain stigma to it, or Filipinos don't make it in the industry. There were just so many hurdles and so many things that I had to kind of get over mentally. So when I got to LA, one of the first big auditions that I did was for the legendary David Foster, one of my mentors in music. He really taught me a lot on what it takes to be not just a musical director, but a musician and a producer. And through him, I was able to work with artists like Ariana Grande, work with artists like Andrea Bocelli, just a very diverse group of artists that I was able to work with. And I really take pride in that. The pandemic taught me a lot. It really became a catalyst and an eye-opener for a lot of things in my life. It really forced me to kind of reevaluate, rethink, rebrand almost what I wanted to do. I wanted to create this album that was basically an homage to not just my culture, but to all the people that I worked with. So I called, all my favorite musicians, all my favorite artists that I worked with along the years. And I had this crazy idea to render these classic Filipino songs that I love so much. We created this beautiful 9-track album called Kaibigan, and it was just one of the most riveting, most spiritual almost moments in my life, in my career. I put my heart and soul into these OPM records. Kaibigan went viral, it charted in the Philippines and many parts of Asia, and from there it led to Volume 2 and Volume 3. OPM stands for Original Filipino Music. It goes through a wide array of different genres. Anything that's made in the Philippines musically is OPM. It was a way for me to connect with my ethnicity. It just made me feel a little more seen and heard because, growing up, there was very little representation in terms of Filipinos or just Asians in the music industry. My 3 OPM albums are basically a love letter to myself. Kaibigan, the first one is called Friends. The second album is called Giliw, which means love, lover, which means to love yourself, to love who you are, or to love somebody. It's all aspects of love. And my third one is Dalamhati. Dalamhati means depression. And a lot of people think that it's like a sad album, but my third album is cryptically like Death to the Old Me and the rebirth of the new me. And it also was the album that helped me come out of the closet. I was closeted for most of my adult life, so to be able to use music and Filipino music and to really celebrate it was something, it was almost like a triumph for me, the most epic, legendary way to come out through an album. To finally be free musically, free about myself, and to celebrate my Filipino-ness. That was probably one of the greatest moments in my life. Being a proud gay man, a proud gay musician is something that I'm very, 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 very happy to be able to say because I've, hid that part of myself for so long. It's time to come out, darling. With Dalamhati, I was able to touch upon a lot of different subjects that we, especially in the Filipino community, that we aren't so comfortable. Sometimes it's almost taboo to talk about. Mental health is something that is very relatively new in many parts of Asia and in the Philippines. I'm from a culture where it's like, oh, if you're sad, honey, you just walk it out and you get it together and you push forward. I get to show people that it's okay not to be okay, and being able to express to people that even though you're hearing this beautiful music, it comes from a world of pain. It comes from a lot of different emotions that aren't so pretty, and and that's okay. I think that a lot of people need to know that a lot of beauty and a lot of triumph, a lot of success comes from the struggle and the journey that you have to go through before you get to that place. And I wanted to shine light on that because people nowadays get to see on social media so much of the glory, so much of the lights and the glitz, and they don't get to see the process of what it takes to get there. I want to be able to create more music that will help people heal, will create representation for Filipino Americans like myself that are wanting to get in the industry, for to let the gay community, the LGBTQ community know that it's okay to be yourself and to celebrate who you are. Over the next couple of months, I'm gonna be embarking on my first couple of shows here in the US. I have my first show in Las Vegas. I'm headlining a show on the Strip. I'm just very excited to see where God will take me on this next journey. I'm so proud because it took took a hell of a lot to get here. I feel like the audience are gonna get 100% the authentic me, and that is gonna be epic. I'm just so grateful. A little boy from Hawaii, I never thought that I would get to where I am now. I just want to say that it's all possible. And to all my Filipino followers, I just want to say maraming salamat po sa lahat ng support, sa lahat ng love, sa lahat ng mga messages ninyo po. And I hope to continue to make you guys proud. Mabuhay ang OPM.